Toyota has unveiled a new generation of one of its most popular models, the RAV4 crossover. The premiere took place simultaneously in Japan, Europe, and the USA. All components of the family are disclosed at once. In addition to the main modification with the name Core, the crossover will have off-road woodland, aka Adventure, and sporty GR Sport. The engine range at this stage will consist only of hybrids of different types, both mono and all-wheel drive. In addition, along with the crossover debuted the latest proprietary Arene operating system. Sales will start, depending on the market, either at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. In the sixth generation, Toyota RAV4 retained the former TNGA-K platform, but the company says it has been improved. In particular, by strengthening the connections of power elements and suspension mounting points, the rigidity of the structure has been increased. In addition, vibration protection has been improved. Wheelbase of the crossover remains unchanged and makes 2,690 millimeters. Other overall dimensions vary depending on the version. For example, the length of RAV4 can be from 4,595 to 4,618 millimeters. Height, from 1,701 to 1,722 millimeters. The trunk volume has been increased from 733 to 749 liters, also due to the thinner backrest of the rear sofa. Each of the modifications has its own design of the front end. RAV4 in any of the hypostasis will retain the new C-shaped lighting technology, relief body sides, and massive rear pillars, but the design of the front bumper and grille in each variation is different. The crossover in Woodland version is closest to the previous generation RAV4 in design. Each of modifications promises its own suspension settings and wheels. For example, GR Sport will have wider, and Woodland more off-road. The range is from 17 to 20 inches. The sporty RAV4 GR Sport will feature original shock absorbers, different body struts, and its own steering setup. In addition to a more aggressive exterior design, this crossover will be equipped with sports seats and aluminum pedal pads. As for Woodland Adventure, we only know that in addition to more brutal appearance and special tires, the crossover will be distinguished by increased ground clearance. The base powertrain, apparently, will be a non-rechargeable bundle of a 2.5-liter atmospheric engine and an electric component. The fifth-generation system in the front-wheel drive version for the US market develops 226 horsepower, with an additional electric motor on the rear axle, 236 horsepower. Toyota RAV4 HEV is planned to be sold in Japan and the US, but in Europe, the novelty will appear only as a rechargeable hybrid. In fact, this power plant is made of the same components, supplemented with a lithium-ion battery capacity increased to 22.7 kilowatt-hours. But Toyota claims about the use of modernized electric motors in its composition. As a result, Europeans will get a crossover whose engines develop 268 horsepower in the front-wheel drive version. This version appears in the EU for the first time, and 304 in all-wheel drive. The hybrid with drive on both axles will reach 100 kilometers per hour in 5.8 seconds. For the US, the output of the unit will be increased to 320 horsepower. But the most powerful bundle will be used only on the Woodland and GR Sport versions. Thanks to an upgraded thermal management system, the battery will provide an electric range of up to 100 kilometers on the WLTP cycle, and it will be possible to charge it from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes. The battery can handle a charging current of up to 50 kilowatts. It is expected that for some local markets, Toyota will release RAV4 with a classic internal combustion engine without electric add-ons. The interior of the 6th generation RAV4 is characterized by many angular design solutions applied in the design of both the front panel and the center console and steering wheel. Both displays are mounted independently. The instrument panel has a diagonal of 12.3 inches. The center screen will have a size from 10.5 to 12.9 inches depending on the equipment. Physical buttons have become less, although they have not disappeared completely. The traditional transmission selector has been replaced by a miniature joystick. All electronics are controlled by the latest Arene operating system, described as Toyota's first step toward software-defined vehicles. The operating system is responsible not only for the new interface, online services, and wireless updates of the media system. With its appearance, Toyota has expanded the functionality of the proprietary Safety Sense driver assistance system, which on the RAV4 moved to the 4th generation. Mentioned, for example, a new function tracking the vehicle following the cross-course at intersections, modernized blind spot monitor, more advanced assistant rearrangement and collision avoidance system with improved recognition of pedestrians and cyclists. It can now autonomously stop the car after an accident if the injured driver is unable to do so. There is also a remote valet. You can put the car in the parking lot by controlling its movement from your smartphone. It is assumed that during this year, Toyota will present another all-road novelty. In China, thanks to a leaked advertising brochure, the compact Land Cruiser FJ, which will be the youngest model in the Cruisac family, has been declassified. It is expected to get a frame construction and permanent all-wheel drive.